baby. It's direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis podcast with your host, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunk of chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
All right, everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis podcast. Here with your host today, Chris Thayer,
Steve Hale,
Mike Jones,
and I'm Ron Milts. Welcome to the show, Mike Jones.
Mike.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mike's a longtime friend of the show. He's also a listener for the show. And,
big fan.
One of our big nerd friends. So we brought him in for the night, and you'll probably hear his voice a little more since we can never seem to get Mike Eastman or Todd or anybody else to come in. So
I'm always available.
There you go. There you go. You're like the sloppy ninths. I like it. So good times. All right. So what's everybody been up to since the last time we recorded a month ago?
This Love and Lords of Darkness. That's about it. Really?
All that he's willing to talk about on air. So
yeah,
there you go. Chris, what you been up to?
Smoking crack, robbing liquor stores.
I did get a new job.
What?
I'm hanging out in front of 7-Eleven selling pot.
Are you Jay and Silent Bob reboot?
It's just Steve. I'm looking for a sidekick right now. So like most of my best material, I'm practicing to myself right now.
Are you like, do you want to make fuck berserker?
I sell fucking $10 bags to fucking 15-year-olds. It's lucrative.
Nice,
you know?
man, nice. You think in this market though, it wouldn't be as lucrative.
I'm
as
like, where do all the high school chicks hang out around here?
So Chris and I went on a merry journey. We're in the middle of hell right now. So we did Seattle, ECC, Emerald City 2 weeks ago. Last weekend we did Chicago, and this weekend, tomorrow, we have WonderCon. So we are officially conned out. If I ever see another con again, it will not be too soon. So
You know what's funny is I ran into Katrina, who does the Warhead comic. When I was setting up today, and she said, "Oh, you guys are in like that marathons, right now of cons." I'm like, "How the hell did you know that?" So I talked to Russell, he was doing it too. So there's a few of us that are hitting all.
You know what?
Shows.
If you really want to go hardcore, take yourself out to Celebration. Go back to Chicago. To Celebration, Star Wars Celebration, or you could stay here and you can go to Monster Palooza.
I really want to go back to Chicago because you know who's going to be there. Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, I figured you'd be lined up for that. I think somebody posted that. Say, hey, Chris, look, who's going to be at Celebration?
Well, he's got to be at Celebration because he's going to be in episode 9. So it's like,
No, he's not.
Just you wait. Like episode 9, everybody's going to be in it, dude. They're
Jar
bringing
Jar.
back Jar Jar. The fucking clones are going to be there.
Dude, they took off
Ewoks.
They took off Boba Fett's helmet, man. It was fucking Jar Jar.
He's like, oh, Misa, a bounty hunter.
Yeah, it was so cool.
But what we discovered is, first off, California is like the weather here. It cannot be beat. We left the day we left for Chicago after being cold and wet in Seattle. It was 72, and comfortable, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt. We get off the plane in Chicago. It's 27 degrees and freezing ass cold.
That North Midwest is hell.
Shorts.
I'll tell you what, dude. I have not been to that, and I've gone different times of the year. I went in August one year and drove through The Perfect Storm, the movie that was.
Yeah.
Keep the East Coast where it's at. I will fucking stay here, dude.
Exactly.
Our snow is exactly where the fuck it's supposed to be.
In the mountains.
On the top of mountains.
You can go visit it, and then
And
you
then
come
I
back
come
down
home.
the hill.
I'm going to the
like,
beach.
That's the best way to live with snow.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're like, it's 57. I'm wearing a light sweater,
I mean, we have had
cargo shorts.
We have had unusual monsoons here, and I'm like, listen, I pay a premium to live here. Mm-hmm. So you want to turn this shit off? Because we do control the weather.
We do, obviously.
Chemtrails and all that shit. So stop flying those fucking planes and spraying that shit, and let's just have some nice sun again.
Amen to that.
Yes.
Well,
I have so many friends that are talking about, oh, I'm moving out of California. I'm going to go move. Bye. Because after going to a bunch of these places, like, you can have it.
yeah, absolutely.
You can totally have any of those states,
The weather, like,
especially Florida.
Jesus Christ. Have you been to Tampa Bay?
I have.
Holy
Well,
crap.
we're looking at possibly doing MegaCon.
No,
in
we're not.
July. Chris is really anti the concept of going to Florida. So
Do you realize how humid it'll be in July? That'll be ridiculous.
I'm sweating right now just thinking about it. So we a fun part of our trip was we went to Seattle. So I book all of the hotels and the flights and everything. So I got us a decent flight out. We went out through Vegas and then flew north. After
Which makes perfect sense.
I'm not the arbiter of Southwest Airlines. They do not have a direct flight to Seattle, so everything has at least a layover somewhere. But I booked a Motel 6 that on Hotels.com had like a 3.7 rating, and for a Motel 6, that's out of 5. That's
not bad.
That's pretty good. I mean, it's a Motel 6. Like, you know what you're getting. Like,
for the price,
it's 2 beds. Hopefully I don't get ganked. Like, it's, you know what you're getting. And, it was literally the worst experience we've ever had in a hotel setting ever in all of our years of traveling at this point.
You need to travel with me more.
Oh, no. Well, Steve and I, one year, we stayed down in San Diego at a place I booked very last minute, and it was on the west side of the convention center. So it's like you go down towards the dock area, and then
down by the docks.
And it was like all of a sudden he's like, well, where's the hotel? Mall? It's just down here a little bit more. It's all I could get, but we got a room. And as we drove into it, I was like, oh, look, prostitutes.
Prostitutes and longshoremen.
Yes, absolutely. And it was probably one of the roughest hotels I've stayed in as far as like, I was for sure somebody was going to break into our car.
We had safety with numbers on this one. There were a lot of us packed in that little shitty room.
There was. So
I was just throwing handfuls of fucking hero clicks at them, dude. Because I couldn't fucking believe how much fucking hero clicks these guys brought back from the convention. And they're just like garbage, 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 good, garbage, garbage, garbage. It was like all just trash. Yeah. Like just bags of these fucking crappy little toy things. I don't even remember how the game played.
I still have all of them.
I'm looking at them right now. Yeah, I'm looking at them.
Piles of them there.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was a
con swag.
Yeah, no, it's a game, like a game that we played for a while that we got really into, and we, you know how it is. It like overtakes your life. So anyway, the Seattle hotel, I booked it, prepaid. Got a decent rate. It's down in SeaTac. It's like right off the freeway. So, I'm like, oh, good location. We can get downtown in 18 minutes. Like, perfect. We're good to go. So we pulled in at like 1:40 in the morning, and I knock on the window, and the lady's like, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm checking in. She's like, oh, okay. I go, it's under Ron Milts. She's like, I need your license. I enter my license. She goes, is there anyone staying with you? I go, yeah, my partner who's on the, his name's on the
my partner.
That's why I always say my business partner.
Nobody wants to know your business.
Well, and I always make sure I go.
That's good, Chris.
He's
Actually,
a little
smart.
spoon.
Like those fucking partners waiting for him in the car.
Oh Jesus! Well, either
which has changed over the past few years.
She goes. Oh, I'm gonna need to see his ID, and I go, oh, well, why? I mean, I already paid for it. I already checked him in, and she like literally looks at me and she goes, you don't like it? You ain't got to stay here. At which point, I knew that we should not, but I was so fucking tired, I didn't care.
Right.
And so I literally went, oh, so it's gonna be that kind of hotel. Like I didn't realize that's what I was checking into.
Well, she wasn't wrong.
She was definitely not wrong.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. So we check in, and it's like 2 a.m. by the time we get all the bags in, and we're like going to sleep. And I shit you not, an hour later, the people above us start at it. Now, we're not sure how many of them there were in there. I think that they were like the underpants gnome. Yeah. This Chris is reenacting through Foley.
It's more like... Yeah, because all the rooms have wood floors, brilliantly enough. So, yeah, it sounded like there was a clog troop practicing for hours.
Lord of the Dance.
Well,
yes.
So this literally went on from, I'd say about 2:45 in the morning till we got up at 7, nonstop. To the point where Chris turned his little noise machine that he sleeps with, the sound of static, up as loud as he could, and it still did not fucking matter. Like, it was, first night was quite miserable. And then it bled into the second night, at which point we came back to the hotel, and I was like, oh, it was quieter. And the lady whose van, who I knew who it was, she had one of those vans that had more Jesus stickers on it than actual windows.
Yeah, but not on the windows. They were on, like, the paint. They were
like I've always said, dude, if you have more than 2 goddamn stickers on your car, certified fucking crazy,
well,
dude.
These people had it. And so the second night, they didn't start until 5 a.m., thank God. But once it started, they, like, did not stop. So I went up the next morning or the next evening, and I was like, we need another room. Like, this is not working. They're like, oh, sorry, sir. We are all booked up. And I'm like,
Of course.
Of course. And they're like, well, just call. Why didn't you call security? And I'm like, well, because when I checked in, the lady told me if I didn't like it, I ain't got to stay here. So I was guessing you weren't going to have my back on telling people to be quiet, you know? And the security guard's like, yeah, no worries, man. I got you. I'll go up and tell them people. And so we basically, Chris called security at midnight that night and went up and quieted him down. But it only lasted like an hour. So at 5:45 in the morning, the third morning, I stormed to the front and was like, you people, I need another room like right now. And she's like, well, I don't know why they didn't give you another room last night. We're not completely full. At which point, like flames, like you ever see Inside Out, like the like that was
anger.
Me. Yes. And I was like, as nicely as I could be, I'm like, cool. Well, we're gonna check out our room. You get us another room, and when we come back tonight from work, I go, we will be in a different room. And she's like, yeah, no problem. We come back, different guy working the front. Nice guy, very Gumpian. Like, as, you know, definitely drank him 15 Dr. Peppers at some point in his life. But this dude, like, we walk in and he goes, oh, we're all booked up again. And I'm like, then you can check us out, like, and refund me my money because I'm not staying here another night. And he goes, well, let me see what I can do. So he stresses out and he's sweating and he gets us another room. So we go into the other room and Chris is like severe asthmatic. Is that your problem over there?
Well, it's not severe, but you know, I'm kind of allergic to smoke. I grew up with a dad that smoked and it kind of fucked me up.
So he's a bubble boy. So
Chris is sensitive.
He is. So bubble boy starts having a bit of an asthma attack, which I can understand. So it's like, so we call down. And we're like, hey, like the room you put it, or I'm sorry, we don't call down, not yet. I got ahead of myself. He starts to have a bit of an asthma attack, and as we're having a discussion, like, well, what are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna do. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna go take a piss and we'll figure it out. He goes in, he pees in the toilet, and the toilet, after he flushed it, flooded the room. Like it overflowed. And
so, Chris, you are super manly. You clogged the toilet with your urine,
right? It's my diet. It's like 90% fructose.
It's like just solid. That's all. So the toilet's overflowing. And Chris like, God damn it! He storms over to grab the phone to call down, and he picks it up, and he's all, "There's no dial tone." And he grabs the phone, the base of the phone, and it is not plugged into anything. There is no phone cord coming out of the phone in the room to anywhere else.
Can't complain if you can't call.
This is because they used the phone cord to tie up the tarp that was wrapped around the body that they removed from this room the last time.
That's why the room was available.
This was definitely a kill room. Like, let me tell you.
Absolutely, it was a kill room.
Like Dexter.
Well, and you look at the toilet, in hindsight, I looked at it and there was a sticker that said, you know, water shut off, and had an arrow pointing down to the... Like, they knew there was a problem because they put a fucking sticker on the toilet. Couldn't they give us a heads up?
Like
or
a
something?
fucking Post-it note?
Yeah, kind of.
It was like a full-on sticker.
Hey, at
Water
least it
shut
wasn't a
off.
piece of fucking duct tape with a fucking arrow pointing down.
Might as well. So they finally, Chris usually, he picks up his cell phone and he calls the front office on his cell phone to get a hold of the guy in the front. And the guy's like, thank you for calling Motel 6. How can I help you? And he's like, well, we're staying at your hotel and our room phone has no cord, so I had to call you on my cell phone. The toilet is overflowing into the room. And so this poor Gumpian guy comes up and he's like, he's got this armful of towels and he could just tell that like we're irate. And he's like, I'm so sorry, man. And I'm like, yeah, man, he's over there like trying to plunge the toilet. And I'm like, hey, dude, there ain't...
Trying to plunge Chris's gravy piss
down. So literally we're like, this just isn't going to work. And I'm like, you need to check us out like right now. Like he's already booking another room at another hotel. So we go.
I was over it. I was done.
It was done. So I'm like, load the shit up. I'm gonna go down and get us checked out. So we go down, and this poor guy, like, because he's just like woefully out of shape and Gumpian, is like bursts a nosebleed after he runs from our room on the back half all the way to the front. So he walks up to the front desk, and when I say he bursts a nosebleed, I don't mean like, oh, my nose is bleeding, let me put my finger. It's like blood is dribbling down his
You guys
chin.
gave this fucking poor guy aneurysm.
There's a reason he's on the night shift,
man. He's just like, man, I'll be on the night shift, man. I'll be kind of fucking quiet because everybody's like already kind of fucking.
Oh, it definitely ain't quiet.
They're fucking, they've shot enough heroin. They've shot enough heroin that they've knotted out.
It's mostly hourly rates anyway.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
It wasn't even that. It didn't look that rough. Like it really didn't.
I've been with Ron when he wants like a fucking refund. Even I'm like. Shit, here it comes. He's getting serious now.
You know what? I'm generally calm, and I was very nice to this guy. Like, I was like, look, I'm sorry, man. Like, you just need to take care of it. So the guy, like, gives us our refund for the night, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to call and complain. Like, I need the corporate number. And so he, like, give me that, and I'm like, because this is ridiculous. And I'm like, pissed. I'm tired.
Did you at least get his name and say, hey, listen, Chumley. You're cool though. I'm gonna let him know you're all right.
I actually did, believe it or not. When I called them, I was like,
Chumley motherfucker. He's okay. He's good people, right, man. Don't fuck with him, all right?
He hemorrhages easily,
but
he's okay.
Yeah, I made that bitch bleed. Don't punish him no more.
So I'm walking back to the car, Steve. This is the best part. After all this shit has gone down, like I'm walking by the open doors of the dude getting his hair braided, like the big Samoan guy. And next door is like, there's like a fucking house party going on in this room, and people are like smoking on the fucking, and the upstairs room, there were some of the hourly people. So there was a girl and a guy kissing to leave. And right as I walk under where they are, like a pair of booty shorts comes flying off the edge. And I'm like not too far from the stair. And I hear, don't you fucking touch my booty shorts. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? She comes like running down. She's like, don't you touch my booty shorts. And I'm like, nobody wants to touch your fucking booty shorts. Like that is literally the last, like I will get hepatitis if I touch this shit.
I'll tell you what, how about if I give you a $5 bill? Can I touch your booty shorts then? I'd give her $5.
And the best part was, so Chris, you want to finish this off? Because you booked the next hotel for the last night.
So I book a place that is a bit more expensive, not like super expensive, but it's like definitely it's in the next tier. So we pull up. I'm thinking, oh, this looks pretty fucking nice from the outside. Like I can sleep.
Western.
No, it was like Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah,
so it was pretty legit.
Yeah, like the whole nine.
Oh, so good.
You got breakfast of the continent.
All right, they're gonna have motherfucking croissants tomorrow.
Right. So we walk in the front door, and the whole fucking place is torn up because they're renovating it. I'm like, God damn it, we cannot catch a break in this motherfucker. So we go up to the desk, super nice. They're like, oh yeah, we're almost done with the renovations. Here, we'll give you this room, and you guys want some water? Because I was coughing. It's like, here, take some waters, So they're totally trying to keep people there. So I'm kind of getting a little suspicious after the last experience. So we get in our elevator, which is really fucking shitty elevator. And as we're going up, I'm getting this really bad feeling like, oh man, this is not going to be good. Like something's going to be wrong. The doors open and it looks like they fucking gutted the entire floor. Like the
loose
carpet,
wires, like no carpet.
Oh yeah, it's
like a paintball field.
Oh dude, it was so nasty. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
Like we just cannot catch a break to save our lives.
So we get to the room and I'm like, this room better be fucking really nice. So we open the door, and thank God it's like huge beds, big squishy, everything's fairly clean. And we, turn in because at this point it's like midnight. So, we fall asleep and, right around, I don't know, 6 o'clock.
The construction crews show up and they start working. So literally like Seattle was...
Everybody was awake all night. It was like fucking New York in our hotel room.
Awesome.
I was so like blown away at how little sleep I got over a 4-day period. I think over 4 days I might have slept 9 hours, and 5 of them were that last night. Like it was. We were so tired, and we're gonna talk about this next. But we went to go see Captain Marvel, and both Chris and I fell asleep at different points of the movie just watching the film because we were exhausted.
See, I fell asleep for different reason though.
Well, there you go. So let's we'll just say that Chicago was interesting as well, but that's not a story we can tell on air. But
the people of Chicago are super cool, except for the crazy assholes on the bus, on the trains. Yeah,
no, they were crazy people on fucking trains and fucking buses.
Public transportation,
dude. It was like next level. Some of the crazy shit that went down.
My favorite guy was the Mexican guy that came up to me and just started speaking to me in fluent Spanish. And luckily, I speak Spanish because I understood everything he was asking me. And I was like, "Yeah, no." Sure. See. And then I was like, all right, man, like, you know, vámonos.
I threw in that C there.
Yeah.
Well, because he was like, oh, man, how you doing? Like, I've been drinking all night. Are you drunk? And I'm like, no.
Was he like, you want to fuck? You want a little hand ski?
He wanders.
Like,
be a bro.
He wanders 3 seats down and fucking breaks into mariachi, like in the middle of the.
Oh yeah, he's singing. Dude, there's a lot of singing ass people on the trains in Chicago because on the way out, we had some lady in the next car over that was just singing crazy shit. Like, I don't even know what she was saying, but it was like she was singing at the top of her lungs, and I heard her a car down.
It's a fucking fact, dude. The moment you are just above poor, the first thing you do is buy a fucking car. Because being poor on them fucking public transportation, you're like, I got to get the fuck off this thing, man.
I finally realized why everybody has their earphones in.
Because block out the insanity,
everybody
dude.
fucking talks to you.
Fuck.
Like I had this motherfucker on Sunday night after we're doing this con all day long. We get done doing the cons. We don't want to talk to each other, let alone strange motherfuckers sitting across from me.
All fucking day.
Well, not only that, but Chris and I, we're like, none of us like people. Like that's the one thing in this group we can all get along with. Like when I'm on, the masses, I'm not interested in you. I'm not interested in your story. I don't care if you're having a nice day. Like I'll be cordial, but I do not want to engage in conversation. I have enough friends. Thank you. Like we're good. And, you know, like we've had this discussion.
Yes.
This guy sits across from Steve, and is like, hey, how you doing?
Oh, dude.
So
and
good to see you.
not stop.
And Chris gave him like the don't want to talk signal. And he goes, so, suitcases, what you been up to all weekend? And he's like, yeah, I was at a Comic-Con. And I'm just going to lean over and talk to Lena right now. And he's like, comics, I like comics. Are they still 99 cents?
Oh, fuck.
No, they're a bit more expensive. Oh, really? What do you write about? Tell me about your comic book, you know? You know what I like? I like reading Garfield. Garfield's great. Don't you like Garfield? That little dog Odie, he's a little scamp, isn't he?
Oh, man. Fuck, dude.
For a half an hour straight.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Not a small amount. We had a ride that was 18 stops, and it was like, we're literally going to the end of the line, and this dude's just like, and he goes, well, if you're tired of talking to me, just let me know. And Chris goes, no, I'm good. I'm like, no, I gave you an out.
Yeah.
That was your choice.
No, you know what? At that fucking point,
You were invested. You were.
I was on a fucking plane for fucking Maryland coming home, and fucking, I was not only exhausted, but I was drunk still. And of course, this lady starts fucking yip-yapping into me. And finally I said, lady, listen, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I said, but I'm still drunk, and I think I need to sleep. I need to sleep this off because there's a good chance I might have to puke in this bag. So let me tell you, she shut the fuck up,
You know
dude.
what? That guy would have been all throw up. You know what my favorite kind of throw up is tacos. I like tacos, and the aftertaste you get, it's really tastes good.
He was like that, dude. He would not stop.
And it was funny because he tried.
You know what? He's like an NPC in the fucking game. There's probably some fucking information
if there
you
was
were
a cat,
supposed to fucking
I totally
get.
would have been in. Like a random cat showed up. Oh no! And then you know we get into one car on the way home, and it fucking reeks of weed. So we get to the next stop,
shit, I forgot about that.
And these two cops come in, both doors, with these German Shepherds. And they just kind of stood by the doors, and they're just waiting to see if the dogs pick up who the fuck it was. And then this dude gets up, and he's all, you know, running through the car, and he runs straight at this cop, not even paying attention with the dog. The dog loses its fucking mind. Now, it has a muzzle on.
But it lunged at this dude.
It lunged at this dude.
And this dude goes, holy shit!
It was so funny, dude.
Like, he jumped into the fucking door. Like, Chris, and nobody else in the car, like, did anything. We just sort of like, oh, hey.
And people always ask me, why do you got your fucking phone in your hands all the time? I was like, because I got to be ready to record some fucking shit, dude. I'm waiting for that fucking viral video,
And
man.
do society a favor.
Yes.
Keep it on landscapes.
Right? And
Come on.
And have a fucking steady hand, guys. I mean, just not...
And when the good thing happens, don't put the camera down to go run and help. Keep the camera on the subject.
Film it, man. Shit.
Well, and then
don't lose the shot.
Not only that, yeah, but it's like, like there's a Steadicam setting on a lot of new phones too. Like you could turn like these people. It's like I feel like I'm watching, like a fucking found footage from the early 2000s.
If I ever fucking go to Russia, I will request that my rental car has a fucking dash cam because these people are crazy.
Oh, they all do.
Certified.
Everybody in Russia has a dash cam if you watch YouTube.
Yeah,
they have to because of all the people like faking injuries and such. So yeah, it was. Let me just say that for 2 weeks it was an adventure, and Chris had nothing but bad luck for the entirety of our trip, which was like the most fun part of the trip. So
I'm looking forward to WonderCon this weekend. What hijinks is Chris going to get us up to?
Well, here's the best part. We start tomorrow with a field trip. All my students going to WonderCon.
So I'm sure
what could go wrong there?
I'm sure there will be gang violence at WonderCon tomorrow. So
something.
Be aware. The San Bernardino kids are coming. So
oh Jesus!
Can't vape pot here.
Yeah, they're probably no. These are the nerds, dude.
Yeah,
we got rid of all those kids over the last 3 years.
So the nerds, they're the ones that are cooking it.
Maybe.
Definitely. All right, so let's talk a little movies here. So Captain Marvel. Did we all go see Captain Marvel?
I saw it.
All right.
Saw it.
All right. Well, Chris and I definitely went and saw it. So first sort of takes on the movie. What'd you guys think?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of hype behind it. I heard some comments as this is quite possibly one of the best Marvel movies to date.
I haven't heard that.
I was a bit shocked when I heard that. I was like, wow, okay, this is going to be something kind of cool, right?
I had a couple people tell me that
and
that's how much they loved
I got to fucking tell you.
It was all right.
This was pretty middle of the road.
Mike, how about for you?
I liked it. I was all in through the whole thing. I wouldn't say it's the best superhero movie ever made. It's middle of the line, but I my wife was bored for the first half. The whole establishing the character didn't really catch her until she started to develop her powers and get into the real story of it. But I didn't have that problem at all. I was in through the whole thing.
Sure.
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
I need to see it again because I was pretty freaking exhausted, as you can imagine, after our Seattle ordeal the first night. And that's when we decided, hey,
Thursday night, we're like, let's go to the movies. Because I don't want to go back to the room. And it was like, so we went to the movie and we literally both fell asleep at one point.
After a full day of traveling. Yeah.
It was, on 4 hours of sleep, less than 4 hours of sleep, you're like trying to watch a movie. And look, it was fine. Like, I think I'm with Steve on this one. Like, for me, it wasn't the worst of the Marvel films. Like, it wasn't Iron Man 2. But it just...
Iron Man 3, I'm sorry.
But
it's still terrible.
Any Iron Man.
It was like one of these movies that I watch it and I'm like, if it was on, I'd watch it again, but I'm not actively going to seek it out to watch it again. It's not Winter Soldier. It's not Infinity War for me.
It's not Ragnarok. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not in that level. But to me, it's like, it fits in sort of like the Black Panther level where I'm like, I enjoyed it, but I'm not like itching to watch it again tomorrow, Yeah. So it's sort of like Age of Ultron where I'm like, oh, that was good. Like I enjoyed it. It was fine. There were parts of it that I loved. Like I loved the relationship with Carol and Nick Fury. I love
great chemistry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. That was real good.
Yeah,
and the CG on Sam Jackson, I got to say that was top notch.
Was he CG'd? I just thought he just doesn't age.
That's why he looked. No, that
black
they
don't
CG'd
crack.
Him down.
That's fucking science.
I thought they were like, hey, grow some hair.
No, him
fine.
and Agent Coulson, they were both
Coulson
CG'd down. He was.
You could
Coulson
see it
was a little
more.
bit, but Sam Jackson, I think they did an excellent job on that.
Yeah, I mean.
They've been kind of playing around with that for a few years.
Yeah,
now,
I don't.
There was one part of the film where it stood out how old he was. He's like running down a hallway for no reason, and I was like, "Ooh, that's an old man run."
Bad knees.
He was like waddling, and I'm all, "Ooh."
He's got bunions. He can't run like that.
Ooh, that's an old man run. I know that run. That's how my dad runs. Like that's But yeah, man. I mean, look, I thought like a lot of people like crapped on her. Online, and I didn't have a problem with Brie Larson. Like,
no, I didn't.
Her
either.
acting was great. I thought she was fun.
Yeah,
I thought she was quirky.
I didn't get like a bad acting.
No, not at all.
No,
I just, for me, like from a script point, I thought there was like one too many characters. I thought the other pilot and the daughter were like a little extraneous, other than a connection to her former life. Like that's the one relationship I didn't care about. I loved all the stuff with the Skrulls.
Yes.
The dude
I really like them.
Oh man, like, and what a twist. What an absolute brilliant twist to go take the absolute villains of the Marvel universe
since we were kids
and basically go, nah, they're refugees. Like, it's completely not what you think.
Propaganda. It's all been propaganda.
Yeah, and you know what? And my only complaint, like, and this is what I told him.
I just thought they looked cool.
They did look cool.
They looked great.
And all the shape-shifting stuff was dope. Like, that was cool. Yep. Like, my biggest complaint was, how are you going to put Ronan the Accuser in the movie and then not use him at all. Like, he just was like,
just a way to tie in.
Yeah, I'm all
Guardians. Oh, wait a minute. You just stopped our fucking missiles. We're out.
Yeah, like, yeah, kind of.
I did like how they threw in
Jimon.
What's that?
Jimon Hunsu.
Is that his name?
Is that his name? I can never. It's like DiGiorno.
I like that. I was like, oh, that's cool because he,
it's a callback. Like,
for sure.
But once again, like, Ronan the Accuser is a being in the Marvel universe that had an Infinity Stone. Like, he's pretty powerful. Like, as far as things go, when you
we didn't have it yet.
Yeah, but he was strong enough to hold it and possess it. Which was a big deal.
What that fucking cat did? I liked how everybody was like, dude, that's not a fucking cat. He's like, that's a fucking cat.
He's like, look at this cat.
Don't have that on this ship.
They're like, get that fucking thing away from me. He's like, this thing's fine.
I
like that part.
Okay, Goose the cat stole the movie. Every scene he was in, he stole the scene.
It was fun. Like,
it was awesome.
Like, once again, the movie was fun. I dug the kind of storytelling concept where we were jumping around in time. I kind of wish they would have leaned into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I don't know that a general audience could have kept up with the narrative in that way. Right. Like, they definitely dumbed it down at a certain point. And then weirdly, I grew up in the 90s. The whole movie didn't feel 90s enough to me. Is that weird to anybody else?
Yeah, you're right. It didn't have that.
The soundtrack was excellent.
It threw in a couple of nostalgic, markers, but other than that, that was about it.
Like, nothing about it felt like the 90s to me. Like, I'm like, I've vividly lived through this time as an old person.
In that area. In Southern California desert.
I'm like, nothing about this feels like the 90s. Like, this still feels like today, which weirded me out a little bit. So,
yeah.
It was like when they got on the train, and I'm all, first off, nobody rides the train in LA. That's some bullshit.
The Blue Line.
Yeah, that, there'd be 2 people on that fucking thing.
I wrote it. I know.
There'd be nobody on that thing. And then it just, and it's weird to live in, like, although the pagers was like spot on.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So, and the little nods with the Blockbuster Video, and the soundtrack was cool. Like, it was like,
excellent soundtrack.
But it just, It was good. Like, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't great. Like, it didn't blow me away.
Something I was proud of is my wife and I go to Disneyland like once a week. We're very common at the parks. And we were walking through Disney California Adventures, and there was a blonde woman, just one of the guests at the park, wearing faded blue jeans, a white 9 Inch Nails shirt, the baseball cap with their blonde hair straight down. And I was like, Carol Danvers. And she was like, yeah. I was like, awesome. And I don't think anybody else had caught that.
She was cosplaying.
She was cosplaying Carol Danvers. It was pretty rad.
Yeah.
I'm proud that.
Patron or an employee?
No, just a guest. Just somebody at Disneyland. Cool. Yeah, just walking around dressed as.
They have a Carol Danvers over at the.
They do have a Captain
flying
Marvel
over the world. We used to be flying over California in the hangar right there.
Yeah. No, that is it's over in the Hollywood area.
Oh, is it
right
on
next
the
to
other
Monsters
side?
Inc.
Oh, okay.
It used to be the blue wall that everybody took their pictures in front of. They've painted it up to look like the Captain Marvel hangar.
Oh, that's cool.
With an F-15 nose poking through.
Okay, I thought it was over where the flying over California because I keep seeing the picture.
No, it's an airplane hangar, so it feels like it should be over there, but no, it's in the Hollywood area.
I mean, that's because that's going to be Marvel superhero land.
Yes,
that
will be.
They
Marvel
turn
land.
it into Westworld over there, and they have the flying robots and all that other shit. So. Yeah. It's going to happen, just so you know. The robots are going to rise up at Disneyland. That's where it's going to start.
It's not just Disneyland. It's New York.
And I'm all
saying it for fucking ever now. But, there are some people who put a lot of hype on this movie because they're like, finally, man. I mean, woman. We're going to have a strong female character in a movie. And I'm like, listen, bros. I know that you think that this is the truth because when you first read about what a vagina is in a book, right? This is what you think, but quite frankly, you're wrong. There have been strong female characters in sci-fi, horror, action for the last, 45 fucking years.
Yeah, for sure.
But they haven't been lead characters.
What? Not in fucking a Marvel movie, which is just the last couple fucking years. Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Fuck, dude. Goddamn Star Trek Voyager was on for 7 motherfucking years. The strongest characters on the show were women.
Well, that's because they were the only good characters.
Fucking
on that show.
Emmy,
nobody watches Star Trek, dude. Come on.
Yeah, nobody watched it for 7 fucking years, right?
Well,
that's fucking stupid.
It was on UPN, Steve. So let's
get the fuck out of here with that shit. And you're right. How many goddamn alien movies did they make? 17.
Exactly.
All with Sigourney.
Yep.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you can't see a fucking horror movie. Who kicks the bad guy's ass?
It's always the girl.
Every
Halloween
fucking movie.
Halloween, all the Friday the 13th.
Yep.
All
the Freddy Krueger movies, except
and
for the second one, which was just a gay movie.
And they're not even fucking like raping them and stripping them down and all this kind of shit. No, that's the victims. They're all fucking dead.
But the heroes are badass, strong.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, I just don't buy that shit. It just, it's the first one in a Marvel movie. Well, thanks for the last couple of years, but
I mean, like,
I know he's still fucking vibing for fucking.
I think I'd like a Black Widow movie as well.
So uninteresting. Give her a fucking Netflix fucking.
Well, I'm okay with that too.
I'm cool with that. Yeah,
anything
even
with
better.
Scarlett Johansson. I'm
sorry.
Like,
to me, listen, I love her. I've been very fucking vocal about how much I love her.
Yes, we've heard it on the show.
But
to the point I've had to edit out a couple times.
But I know. I love when you fucking edit the best shit. Fucking, she's a B player. She's a B player.
I mean,
I'm gonna kill you with my fucking Beretta. Yeah. That's a god. He's the Hulk. He's got some fucking goddamn iron fucking suit of all kinds of cool shit, and you got a goddamn 9mm.
Well, her and Hawkeye.
Yeah. Captain Marvel just took down a spaceship.
I fucking shoot fucking arrows. This is a fucking pretty goddamn.
He never runs out of arrows.
I know, right?
He's like Daryl. He just walks up
and pulls
one out.
A whole fucking army. Yeah. With like 6 arrows.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah. I don't think you realize how good of a shot he is.
B-rate character. I'm not looking forward to him or his fucking haircut in the next movie. I don't care.
That's going to be the best part of the movie,
don't care,
man.
dude.
Oh, the white trash shave? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care, man.
How are you not excited for Hawkeye, dude?
Because like I fucking said, dude, I want to see super fucking heroes.
All right.
Now, it has been confirmed that Ant-Man is not going to crawl into Thanos' ass and then enlarge.
I think that's misdirection, dude.
I'm thinking urethra. That's
I like
it's not the anus that's gonna go.
I
he's
like
going
how
in
everybody's been changing the fucking poster, and then the one of fucking Star-Lord, it was like
Avenge
the
Fallen.
Fault.
No, did you see the one with Falcor in the mud? And it says Avenge the Fallen. Oh, I shed a tear.
Dude, there have been so fucking many within the last 24 hours. I couldn't keep up with them.
That meme has blown up in ways that I cannot describe.
I love a good meme that gets fucking legs like that. Just runs, dude.
It's a blast. It's a blast. Now I will say this: I'm excited to see her in Endgame. Like the little the stinger at the end was like, oh, okay.
Now you know what? I thought she looked fucking badass, dude, when she'd fucking hit her fucking faceplate,
the helmet,
and that fucking flaming mohawk, and shit. That looked fucking cool as fuck.
Well,
her suit looked great. I thought she looked cool. I thought her powers were cool. I don't know the character. I really don't know the source material.
It's got a lot, like the Captain Marvel character has got a lot of iterations.
Oh, and she's changed so many times. She was a man for a while.
I thought her suit looked fucking cool. It wasn't like, it didn't look like plastic junk falling off of her. It looked really fucking good, yeah. Like I said, I loved it when she fucking hit that helmet and just her fucking pa motherfuckers. That was cool, you know? So
I think for me, my favorite part of the movie, what I remember it, is her running through when she gets captured.
You fell asleep that much, huh?
No.
I was like, fuck.
I love when she gets captured and she's kicking ass running through the spaceship barefoot.
Yeah,
like that whole segment was funny as shit to me.
That was pretty good.
That
was pretty good. I fell asleep with the movie, but for different reasons for you guys. I fell asleep because these goddamn theaters now with these reclining seats and shit. I just fucking kind of lay back and get totally relaxed, dude. And the next thing, I was literally snoring. Luckily, I was with people. They fucking Ric Flaired me and they fucking wake me up, dude. Dude, you're snoring, man.
I'm pretty sure the guy and the girl next to Chris were eating edibles, and I'm pretty sure he was doing some high school fingering over there.
All right, dude. All right,
I looked
man.
over at one point, and Chris would nod it off, and they were like full on like in that like I'm 19 and 18 cuddling at the movie theater.
I'm glad people are still keeping that alive.
Yeah, sure. There was no bucket of popcorn, but
he was empowering the woman.
That motherfucker was on his phone a couple times.
Oh, now that's fucking not cool. Listen, bro, you could finger bang Mary Jane Rottencrush or pretty pink panties, but get off your goddamn phone, man. I'm trying to nod off here.
Trying to get some sleep, man. Come on. Yeah, so good times. Yeah, so but I think she's a good addition to the universe, and I think what's interesting is you can kind of see what's going to happen in the next phase. Like you see what they're setting up. They're setting up Doctor Strange. They're setting up Captain Marvel. You know, and Spider-Man. But I think we only got one more movie on that Sony deal. So I think you'll get Spider-Man Far From Home, and then who knows what happens after that.
Dude, I've heard the rumor of fucking that they're going to throw Logan in this. Do you think this is true? Is this misdirection?
No, the Fox merger just happened. They've already filmed Endgame. They would have to throw it in.
How's this? I think anything's possible at this point because you're in a situation where they literally could have filmed something in the last 2 weeks as a stinger.
Yeah.
Like they could have
that's true.
I mean, who knows? Like, could you imagine at the end of the Endgame, like the Fantastic Four show up, or Logan shows up, or even better, like Deadpool shows up and like runs in and is like, "Hey guys, I'm here. I've made it."
Yeah, I saw a meme of that Deadpool showing up wearing the white. He's like, "All right, I'm ready. Damn it, that merge took way too long."
That would officially be the greatest moment in cinema if Deadpool showed up at the end of Endgame. But look, I mean, like, they're going to kill that current iteration of the X-Men off. Like, that's done. Like, we're going to get Dark Phoenix, and then we're out.
Yep.
Like, that, because the New Mutants movie, like, they've shelved that.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that, man.
Well, Maisie Williams was just being like, where's this movie? I filmed this thing 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, how come we haven't released it yet? And they're talking now that they're going to release it on that Disney Plus service. Like, it's going to be an exclusive.
I know people are like, "Oh, how are they going to show?" Dude, trust me, they'll have an adult version and a kids version.
Well, no, it's what it is. Disney owns Hulu, and they've already said all the family stuff will be Disney Plus. All the other stuff will be on Hulu.
That Mandalorian show is going to be like a PG-13 show.
Yeah,
so, and
that's going to be late night.
I saw a clip. Somebody's already filming some sort of voice for IG-88.
It was Taika Waititi from the Thor. He's like,
good choice.
Yeah, dude. Well, I don't know, man. He's a bit like
he can do it.
He's gonna be the rock guy from fucking.
Oh, it's the rock guy.
Yeah, from.
I love that fucking dude, man. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh, dude, when his bug friend was fucking. Oh, I think he's dead. Oh, he was like dropping eggs or something. I thought the character was so good.
Yeah, just
holy shit,
piss off, ghost,
dude. Fucking. All that movie needed, man, was some fucking tits and some coke, and it would have been like heavy metal.
I think that's how that movie got made.
It needs to have. I need the unedited version to come in. I need that in my life, dude. I watch that movie about once a week right now.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
The
remember
boys,
how hard, dude? I was like, dude, you got to see Thor Ragnarok.
The boys
gotta
love it, dude.
Oh, yeah, man.
They love it, man.
Ronald Andrew, it's been my tradition now. The night before a show. Last since it came out, I throw on an Infinity War, and so we there's always because it's like it's literally my favorite of the Marvel movies now. It overtook Winter Soldier, which is still so good. I watched that one last night, but it's like I can throw those movies on and they watch great in the background. But it's like my number 3 that I go to is Thor Ragnarok, every time.
And Civil War is like it's so fucking like, dude, I'm your buddy and my buddy killed your mom. Now we're gonna jump you.
Right? It's a little bit blood in, blood out, right?
Yeah, dude, it's kind of like, we got it like that. You're like, wow, man.
It feels like you're watching Sons of Anarchy.
It's kind of fucked up, bro. I mean, he killed my mom.
I mean, for Civil War, that's a bit rough, dude. Yeah. But for me, it's like, I could watch Thanos, Josh Brolin's Thanos, like all day, every day, and never get tired of him. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of on his side.
I'm kind of rooting for him in the next one, I'm not going to lie. So,
who, Thanos?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he was right.
I mean, he's not wrong. He saved planets, man.
He's the protagonist of that film.
Absolutely, he is.
Yeah, and he wins.
Yeah, like you said, didn't matter if you're rich or poor, or 50-50, man.
Exactly.
Except
sounds equal to me.
I don't know that they.
I took the little thing. I didn't make it. I turned to dust. According to the Facebook thing.
Did you really?
I turned to dust.
You look pretty good for dust.
Here's my only beef with Thanos.
I just want somebody to snort me.
Dude, they kind of laid waste to the Asgardians though. Like the 50-50 thing didn't apply for them. Like they show up and they're like, we're just gonna nuke the ship.
But god damn that fucking scene, man. When his fucking his one priest guy or whatever the fuck is just like rattling off his bullshit.
Yeah.
And that calm voice as they're like fucking shanking him and shit, dude. I loved it.
He's like, you have been chosen to die for the. Congrats. I also have a table for 4 over here on the side.
I am Monty Hall. Welcome.
All right, so let's transition. So Umbrella Academy. Are we all watching Umbrella Academy?
I finished it.
I am halfway through. I'm not completely finished, but I love what I've seen so far.
This show, like Chris, you finished it?
Oh yeah.
Like
man, I'm like way behind.
Let's not. I got 3 episodes
Don't
left.
blow
Or
me
2
on
episodes
this one.
left. So
All
I don't know how.
Oh
it
no,
ends yet.
we tackled that shit like in a day.
So are we all?
I just can't do that shit anymore, dude.
You know what? I'm kind of.
That's the only way I watch TV now.
I don't
you know
like
what?
binging it as much. I like doing it in like 2-hour
It's
chunks.
because I fucking don't absorb everything. Like when we watch this, because I did that with Stranger Things season 1.
Oh,
Just blasted through it, and then when season 2 came out, I was like, "Wait, what?
I don't remember any of
that."
this.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh fuck! I went too fast through it."
Well, we'll get to Stranger Things. Like that's next on the list. But
so I
Umbrella
really
Academy.
enjoyed this, man.
So for those that aren't familiar, this is a Dark Horse book that they've made into a it's like a series on Netflix.
Written by the lead singer of My Chemical Romance.
Yes, yeah.
And it's the first issue of the comic was 2008.
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
2007.
Yeah.
2007 the book
It's
came
a
out,
fairly
yeah.
new book.
And it's
so-
basically I would call it like Hot Topic X-Men.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Yeah.
it's
See, I didn't get that. I saw you post that joke, and I was like, I'm not seeing the Hot Topic.
oh dude, they totally
It's-
Oh yeah.
By the way,
I don't think you guys have
X-Men
even
at the
been to
shopping
a Hot
mall.
Topic. I mean, look at you guys. I mean, you guys are like dockers and shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're talking shit about the Hot Topic crowd, okay?
I'm not talking
let's put that out
shit. It's
there.
just an
more-
observation.
It's more of it's the X-Men if they lived at the shopping mall.
There you go.
Oh.
And by the way,
It's a mall rats X-Men.
real quick, if you don't dress up as number 1 for Halloween, like you're really missing it, dude.
Dude.
That dude, like,
Luther?
he is like Luther is so jacked.
Dude, when his shirt came off, I was like, why are you embarrassed, bro? I'd be fucking rocking that shit every day,
Not only
dude.
that, but I'm all, what, they don't have waxing where you are? Like,
Well, right off the bat, when he's on the moon, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. How big is this fucking dude?
well,
man?
and then we were talking, Elena and I, she goes,
what
this,
was he on fucking Game of Thrones?
he was
Dickon.
Dickon. He was Dickon, remember, with the Tarleys. So he was, what's his face's brother. So it was
He was
Randall,
younger, a lot
Randall
younger.
Tarley and then Dickon Tarley. And then he got killed by the fire in the dragon in the last season. Right?
Okay, fuck.
And he was the
right.
one that they were like, he's all, and what was your name again? And he's all, Rickon? And he goes, no, Dickon. And then it was all,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
All
Actually,
right,
a
all
point
right.
of pride for me is the girl who plays number 3, the I heard a rumor girl. She was Angelica in Hamilton when I saw her at the Pantages.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, dude, rad.
She's probably my least favorite of all of them. So.
See, I can't fucking stand fucking.
Ellen Page?
I fucking do
I
not
love her.
like
Really?
her.
I
Fuck
love her.
No, I don't like
Oh, I
her.
love her, dude.
I don't
She's
like her in pretty much anything.
Ever
it-
since Juno,
How's
everything.
Give it a
I've
chance as it goes, because it's going to get a lot more interesting with her.
Have you seen Hard Candy?
Oh, that movie's great.
Dude,
I don't think so.
you'll love her in
Super?
that. It might make you scared,
Oh,
but it's
man.
good.
But no, man, this show, it's like, it's basically like the X-Men
Uh-huh.
if Xavier, first off, was a dick. Like,
I'm hoping to fucking see what happened to fucking Ben. Do they get to that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
everything
okay.
gets explained.
Okay, cool.
like this
All
kind of
right, cool.
from
Cool.
what I've watched, because I got 2 episodes ago. What I've watched, I don't know that we even need a second season. Like the story's
you will.
pretty complete.
Yeah, you
though.
No.
Do you get a
It's-
cliffhanger?
Oh my god,
Okay,
dude! They
all right.
explain everything.
Don't wreck it.
No,
like, don't
they
ruin
explain
it.
everything in the last episode. They explain everything is explained by the last episode, and then
Oh, it's a motherfucker of-
it is
of a-
2 doors wide open for a whole new story.
Well,
where
and then
to
I
go?
was like-
it's rad.
You know, right off the bat, they said on this day there were 50 births.
47.
47.
And we know 7 of them.
right.
So,
Yeah.
it's like,
So you're like, there's a whole lot of characters
Right.
out there
Right.
that are fucking
Exactly.
supers.
Exactly.
And that, I'm like, you have me intrigued right there. I was like, I want to see some more of these fuckers.
I went
dude.
because what happened was I watched all the way the last 2 episodes, and then I stopped, and we just got busy, and then we threw it on this week when we got home. Because I was like, Elena, she's like, what is the show? Like, why are you so into it? And I was like, well, screw it. We'll start again. And so we've been watching it again from the beginning. We got to the end of the first episode, and I think the pilot is brilliant because it introduces each, number as you're going through.
The first episode is very Wes Anderson, especially in the
totally.
music,
Yeah.
the dance sequence of.
But you get
I
the
love
way it's
that.
structured. It's really structured for the second episode as the hook. The first episode has the character hook, and then the second episode she got done, and we got to the end, she goes, I don't know that I'm feeling this yet. And we got to the end, I go, there's the first hook, and I go, but wait for the second episode. And we got to the end of the second one, and she goes, oh, I'm in. She goes, I'm really intrigued now. She goes, I was kind of intrigued, but now I'm really intrigued.
I don't know how you guys feel about it, but to me, 5 has stolen the show.
The kid? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. That kid is a great actor.
He is very fucking good. Dude.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
And that's the cosplay you're going to see at all the shows.
Oh, dude, it's already showing up.
Oh,
it's all over the show.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. It's not
pretty
a
simple.
hard
Yeah.
cosplay.
Schoolboy.
It's
Yeah.
not like you're making fucking armor. Or
No, it's
something.
that, and like the one thing that I'm seeing a lot of now, it's that and Deadly Class. Like those two things, like the people are cosplaying the shit out of that.
Is anybody watching that show?
I got through the pilot, and I never.
I'm enjoying it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cheesy, but it's not for me. It's like for the teens to 20-somethings.
Yeah.
That's definitely a topic we've covered on this show many times. Is that a lot of this shit's really not for us anymore.
Yeah. And I think that's like, once again, I just like Captain Marvel. Like I felt the same way about that as I felt about Wonder Woman. Like, and this,
it was for the women.
This show though, I feel like this show, it's well written. Like it's intriguing.
Yes.
All the characters are interesting and have depth, and it's like that idea of the that superhero X-Men genre, but like let's take the most like fucked up version of that.
Well, and it's why I was such a big fan of the Watchmen. It's like, these are superheroes, but these fucking people have flaws, man.
Right.
Where they're not these fucking in the Marvel movies that you see today are very sanitized.
Yes.
It doesn't go into how Tony Stark was an alcoholic.
We got like a little bit of that, but not much.
Yeah,
that was all phase 1 stuff.
I mean, you've got many years of material and writing, and they did explore flaws and stuff like that in the comics, but they have not touched us in the fucking movies.
Not really.
And that's why I like the Watchmen, or this movie. I like how Mr. Manhattan, like he was
Dr.
so
Manhattan.
Dr. Manhattan. He's so fucking
He has an
like
advanced degree,
on like the fucking quantum level that things like emotions and time,
gone.
it doesn't even compute to him anymore. Or fucking you have the comedian who just turns into this fucking killing machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shit,
Like he loses his ability to have empathy, like completely. That's the joke.
Well, that's my favorite character in Umbrella Academy is Klaus.
He's great.
Because
the addict.
It's his power is so disturbing.
Well,
and that's
as it starts to develop, though. It becomes much more interesting.
But but still, as a child, that screwed him up so bad.
It's like they kind of touch on in Sixth Sense the patient who killed the doctor. Like he was fucking suffering from seeing fucking dead people.
Yes,
like this,
there is a retribution for this.
Man.
Yeah,
and they're not coming to you like pretty.
No,
they're coming to you looking like the way they were when they were killed, man. And that's fucking a mess.
Did you get to the scene where he cleaned himself up in the hotel room, and yet like all the dead people were in the hotel room?
Yes, and he's like, they cut off my hands. And shit.
Like, all the dead people complaining to him was like one of my favorite parts.
But it was little old Russian lady,
and it was all very graphic deaths. And it's like, can you imagine being a little boy and seeing that? And you turn to drugs? No shit.
Right.
To hide from it.
Fucking nightmares.
But I also like that actor. I first saw him in a British TV show called The Misfits. It's on Hulu. It's a
great show, dude.
It's a great show, and he is.
It's kind of very similar.
The Misfits.
Does it have Glenn Danzig?
It does not.
I wish.
It does not count.
He would totally fit in. He would totally fit in.
It's kind of funny because Misfits is kind of similar in tone to this show.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's a group of super people, and it's like, but they are.
Well, it's a bunch of teenagers who are on community service, and they get struck by lightning, and they all develop superpowers.
Yeah.
I knew that's how it happened.
And it's super rad. It's a great show. It went like 7 seasons. It originally aired in Britain, but we can see it on Hulu. I love the show.
I've watched all 5 seasons.
Yeah,
the problem is the 5th season doesn't tie in.
Fourth and fifth they have a whole new cast,
but you end on a cliffhanger too, and you're like, what the?
and it just wasn't renewed.
Yeah, and you're like, God damn it. So it's like one of those shows. But with this show, it's like one of the things I love about it is the storytelling. Like, it's not linear in the way that like they're like spoon feeding you stupidity, you know? So it's like you got to be patient and waiting for these answers, but it's all this character development with these people and their fractured relationships, you know, and how much like as a group of kids growing up, they basically grew up in like the worst possible way. Yeah. I just love it. Like
very unloving.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't Professor X who loves them.
No.
And wants to nurture them and teach them. This is somebody who wants to just use them as a tool.
Superheroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
And I love there's a great moment where Luther and number 3, the girl, are like they're having this moment in this little tent that she made.
Yes, I've been up to that part.
Yeah, and then he walks in, he goes, "What is going on here?" He's like, "This is not allowed." He's like, "Your personal free time is from 12 to 12:15 on Thursdays."
Yeah, well, you know,
it's just like,
that should be plenty for anybody.
Exactly. And I'm just like, wow, what a terrible environment.
And I love
these
the
children live
house
in.
where it's like a whole block.
It's an entire city block.
Yeah, it's so fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
I just love that whole kind of, you know.
And they fuck that house up, dude. Like it gets the like every like there's gunshots, like everything's destroyed. The chandelier. It's like,
and those 2 bounty hunters.
Oh,
great,
those
dude.
characters are so lovable.
Fucking
there's
Cha-Cha and Hazel.
Yes.
Hazel,
I like them. I like their fucking masks and
Yeah.
shit, you know.
I love that he's in love with the donut lady. That's like my
Yes,
favorite
yes.
part. It's just like it is like they're going bird watching.
That's Mary J. Blige, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yep.
She tried to say goodbye, but then she choked.
Boom, boom, boom.
Tried to walk away from Hazel, but she stumbled. Yeah, man. So this show, like, if you're not on board with this yet, like, we'll do we'll once everybody finishes, we'll do end of season recap on that one.
Yeah,
but it's
definitely.
like it is unbelievably good.
Very, very good.
And Netflix, you know what, man? Even though like we've lost the Marvel shows on Netflix, like they still got good stuff coming out, you know. And it's
I mean, you know what? For the people out there who do not know, there is so much material out there, not just from Marvel, but there's other great comic companies out there who've had their franchises optioned, and you know, we may never see them, or it could be in the works already. There's a lot of material out there.
Yeah, they don't have to keep remaking the same old movies over and over and over.
Like, you know what I want to fucking see again? I want to see Batman again.
No.
Fight the Joker.
I'm good.
Again.
I'm good.
Well, fuck me.
Wait, the
I mean,
Oscars.
we've had enough.
The
Man, we've had
Oscars,
enough.
A Star is Born was nominated. That's the 4th time they've made that damn movie since the dawn of film.
Is that the fucking Lady
Enough!
Gaga one?
Yeah, Lady Gaga. Yes. Gaga.
But no, man. I mean, look. Once again, the stories they're telling, they're fun, they're exciting.
Yes.
And more importantly, you know, they still have To Me, which is now once Game of Thrones goes away. Which, by the way, starting in just a couple weeks from now, like we're gonna have to do weeklies for the last 6 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Yes, we got to do Game of Thrones.
So you'll get like a weekly recap of Game of Thrones on this show.
Yes.
Because goddamn if I'm not excited, you know. But we do.
I still
can't believe it's gonna happen.
Still really, I'm holding. I don't think they're really going to air. I think at the
Winter
last
is
second they're going to
coming.
say, "Listen, something happened. We got to wait till next year."
They're like, we got to milk one more season.
Well,
out of
that's how
this.
George R. R. Martin releases his books anyway. It's
You know, I thought for certain he was like legitimately holding out these books, and he was going to release like number 6, like and 7, like right before the movie
each
came,
season. Yeah.
right before this happened. And no, he just can't get the goddamn thing written.
I think it's because
I think he's
probably
just done.
He's just fucking drinking scotch by like the bucket load, and he's just screaming at the fucking wall. I'm fucking Hemingway too. I'm a fucking Hemingway. I'm important.
Have you seen his hat? He is definitely a Hemingway.
Yes. I'm gonna spear that fucking fish.
All right, so what we do need to talk about though is we got to talk about the Stranger Things season 3 trailer that just dropped. Everybody saw that, I assume.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So how excited are we on a scale of 0 to 10?
You know what? I'm not as excited as I was season 2.
Really?
You know, man, they're just getting a little older, and it's kind of losing its.
They
thing
are
for me.
definitely looking older.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm all in.
I'm so excited.
Listen, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm like, we'll see where this goes.
So I've been on the rewatch wagon, and I've been watching it with Ronald Andrew. We've been throwing him on because he's on spring break. So I'm like, well, we're just here all day. We're gonna watch movies. We're gonna play in the backyard and goof off and do stuff like that. So it's like, you got 14 hours of awake time a day. So it's like I can only spend 8 of them outside before I'm done. But we, I was telling Chris, I go, after my season 2 watch and I saw the season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no mall in Hawkins.
No, it's brand new.
I think they tore down the lab and built the goddamn mall on top of the lab. It's
on top of the door.
I think they literally are doing Poltergeist.
You move the headstones.
That will be rad.
There's no mall in Hawkins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they built it on top of the government facility, I'm going to lose my mind. Because I'm all, dude, have we learned nothing?
Okay. I hadn't put that together. That could be rad.
There's and so you're like, okay, it's been like another year or 2 years, and they've shut down the lab at the end of last season, because of all the shit that happened.
Yeah.
I could totally see the government selling the land, and they built a fucking mall on top of it. Like,
now, I did have one problem with the trailer.
Which is?
And it's, okay, I get it. All the teenagers right now are super into the 80s. 80s are cool. Okay, but
I feel like this one's supposed to be like 86, 87.
Okay, but still, all right, it's 80s. Okay, all of us grew up in the 80s.
Well,
we lived
kid,
that shit.
For sure.
But I mean, we remember it vividly. Sure. Now, here's the thing. In the new Stranger Things trailer, they show the douchebag guy. He's working as a lifeguard.
Yeah.
And he's checking out the hot female lifeguard wearing a fanny pack. No, in the 80s, none of the cool people wore fanny packs. They were not cool.
This is true.
I don't know if that's true, dude.
Everybody wore fanny packs.
Everybody wore fanny packs.
No, I made fun of people wearing fanny packs.
I was out of the fanny pack loop. I knew they existed, but I never had one.
I would laugh at people wearing fanny
packs. But I was definitely not part of the cool kids ever.
Can I just make a point that my wife wears a fanny pack when we go on vacation just to annoy me?
They've come back.
They're back now.
They're making a comeback.
It is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
And remember,
my daughter's wearing.
Remember, in England, they're called waist wallets.
I was going to get one
because a fanny is the word for a vagina.
I was going to get one for hiking.
Were you really?
A tactical
fanny
pack, dude. Well, you know what fucking sucks, dude? It's like all my shit is on my back, so I gotta fucking stop and unfucking hook everything to get a goddamn chapstick.
And all I want is some chapstick and some,
if you wear a sports bra, you could fit everything right there, dude.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Ladies, don't do that shit either. Don't put your phone next to your tit, okay?
Yeah, boob sweat.
Listen, just don't. Just put it in your pocket.
I support that.
They don't have pockets, dude.
Their clothes don't have pockets.
Seen women's clothes?
They don't have pockets.
Every day I go to the gym, man. These fucking chicks got these legging things. They always got like a cool pocket.
There are no pockets. My daughter educated me on this.
You can keep snacks in there.
I just want to wear guys' pants because I have fucking pockets. She didn't say fucking, but.
And if they do have a pocket in their pants, they're like 2 inches deep.
Yeah, they're only for show.
Yeah. So women's clothes.
How do you not know this?
Don't have
Listen,
pockets.
man, my fucking daughter wore fucking skirts that were about the size of a stamp. I don't know what, she needed those tactical fucking...
That is not a lie, by the way.
Pouches. As somebody posted on our fucking Facebook page, just Steve needs these. I was like, listen, bro, I do, because I wear shorts that short. Okay?
And those were like by Rob Liefeld?
Yeah.
Or was that a joke?
Yes, that was Liefeld.
No, I think he's really releasing those.
He's like, you know what the world needs? More pockets.
Yes. See, there's
he puts them on all his characters.
I think he was making fun of himself.
I could only hope.
You like how we went from Stranger Things to fucking fanny packs?
Who knew?
Women's clothing apparently does not have pockets.
I blame Mike.
They don't. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that I've started I've become after rewatching the 2 seasons, I'm like Captain Theories now on the Stranger Things.
Oh shit!
Because I'm like after rewatching it again, like both seasons back to back.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting the concept for their grander story. And I was telling Chris this on the plane. I don't think that the smoke monster was there for Eleven or for Will. I think they followed Mad Max. The smoke monster is chasing her for some reason. Because there's one scene in the entire second season that makes no sense in the context of the whole season, which is the brother and her driving in the Camaro. And she's like, well, why? Like, you know why we're here. And he goes, yeah, you know why we're here. Say it, Max. Why are we here?
Right.
and they never come back to it. They just leave it there. And I'm like, that is a really interesting hanging thread that we just are ignoring.
I remember that. I remember that scene.
Yeah, and you're just like, wait a minute. And so in one way, you're like, it's your fault that we're here. Like, our parents got divorced or some shit. But I think there's deeper something going on there that we haven't touched on yet. And not only that, but the second season of that show, there's so many little hints. The writers are fucking brilliant on that show. Like, the fact that it's like, she shows up, and what's the game she's good at? Dig Dug. Yeah. And what's the whole thing about? All these tunnels underneath the fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's all these little moments, and I'm like, they're piecing it together.
They got to drop the boulder on that fucking smoke monster.
Dude, it's not a lie. Yep. Like, as I'm watching this, I'm going, I don't think that any of this has anything to do with our heroes, but now that the smoke monster knows that our heroes are there, the smoke monster like is more intrigued.
So is she a Demogorgon in a human suit?
I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's a deeper question though, but that's what I'm looking at season 3, and I'm like, I think season 3, like what we saw in the trailer, is a bit of a misdirect. Like, I think it's like monster. They showed you the monster already.
Oh yeah.
When did they ever do that?
Yeah.
Like, why would they already show us the monster? Like, they never did that for the previous 2 seasons.
That's true.
So I think that's a misdirect. I think that they're like going to introduce a beginning monster, and then we're going to get something else deeper on the outside of that.
So it's like Walking Dead. The monster is us.
No, I don't. I don't think it's quite there. But seriously, dude, I've gone down the Stranger Things rabbit hole, and I'm like trying to figure this shit out now because Game of Thrones is done.
I went into his bathroom. And he's got all these pictures, of all the characters, and he's got this fucking red yarn connecting to all these little thumbtacks and shit.
With Christmas lights and an alphabet.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? Like, it's just the shitter.
That's where I do my serious Stranger Things thinking, just so you know.
That's where everybody does their serious thinking.
I would have to stop it in between episodes and just like, baby, I gotta take a crap. And I would just sit there on the toilet. I wasn't even crapping. I was just thinking about what I just watched. Just trying to absorb all that.
You need yarn and pictures. It would help.
Yeah, it would.
You got to visualize.
That's where it starts. Yeah. You're just like, oh, fucking connected. And next thing you know, you come in there, and it's like,
Well, we by the way, we discovered the no readings gay like equivalent of Seattle and Chicago. So people would be like. I don't have time to read. Was the Chicago one?
Yeah.
I don't have time to read. And it's like, you got time to go to Comic-Con? Like, you ain't got time to read? And so Chris started, like, telling people when they go, I don't got time to read. And he goes, that's what the toilet's for. Like, that was, like, the comeback to everybody. And somebody's like, well, my book will get messed up. And he goes, no, man, you just put a little shelf in right next to the shitter. And you can sit there and read.
I got an answer for you, man. That's where you read your books.
I went to the bathroom without my phone, and there are 550 tiles on the floor.
In your bathroom?
Yeah, because I just didn't have anything else to do while I was sitting there.
You were in there for a long time, man.
Well, like I got to make sure that I completely evacuate my system.
It's healthy. It's healthy.
Yes.
Yeah, there really is nothing worse than halfway, and then you go on with your day, and it's like, it's lingering.
I'm not
or
done.
Just
you got that
worse
not
just
done.
fucking sitting there, and you're like, I have a great idea for a meme right now.
You don't have your phone?
To my phone.
Just wish I had my phone.
Like, fuck, man.
So
I can't
close.
even call anybody to bring me my phone. I would, too. I need to have a spare phone. Maybe an old flip phone. Hey, man, bring me my smartphone. So taking a shit right now. I got an idea brewing, dude.
Well, back in the 90s, I had the ingredients to the Glade air freshener memorized. I mean, you'd sit down in somebody's bathroom, and if they didn't have Sears catalogs and magazines, you're just like, well,
so
it's got fucking benzene in it, huh?
Yeah, when we were in college, weird. Mike worked at Walmart, first off.
Yes, I did, for 5 years.
His first week that he came home from work, he goes, did you know that I get paid while I go to the bathroom? And I'm all,
hey.
No. And then he goes, dude, and they can't force me to go faster. I take half an hour bathroom breaks.
Hey, boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
Fuck it,
Yes, sir.
So, anyways, back to Stranger Things. I am like all in on Stranger Things season 3, and I'm like, I watched that trailer like multiple times. I'm all excited for Steve to be like, him and Dustin like hanging out and high fiving, like.
Right.
Do you have any friends that aren't children?
That was a great part. Yeah. Well, it looks like Dustin comes, like in the trailer, it looks like they're hinting that he comes home and like all his friends have moved on with their life. Like, where has he been?
I don't think that he's come home. I just think that they've all reached that point where he wants to still do kid stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all coupled up,
Oh, yeah. True.
So it's like he, like, look, I was I was that kid. I was the kid that all my friends that I hung out with from elementary school when we got to middle school discovered girls, and I hadn't. I was just like, I just want to be a kid still. And they were like, and so by the time I was in 8th grade, 9th grade, I had a whole new group of friends.
Yeah.
Because my old group of friends was, chasing ass. And I'm like, I'm the short pudgy kid. I'm not there yet.
Yeah. They definitely captured not only the 80s, but also that preteen strife.
Right.
That
they
awkward
really
transition.
They've captured it very well.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, and it's fun because as we go, because the last season was 84.
Yeah.
So
Ghostbusters.
I'm thinking this one's going to be like 86, somewhere right in that range. It's been 2 years, a year and a half,
Yeah.
So maybe it's like summer. It's like a year and a half later.
Well, it's 4th of July weekend. So.
Right. So it's like, it's not going to be like 6 months later. It's got to be a year, more than a year later.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
But I agree. They're getting older, but
they built a mall, so
absolutely right. They didn't do it. It's not like a week later. But I think like one of the joys of this like series when we get done with it is gonna be like you basically spend the 80s with this group of kids, and we get to see all the 80s tropes all the way through, which I think is gonna be great.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested because if it's 86, they could do. Is that Temple of Doom? Temple of Doom was 85.
I'm not sure.
I think Temple of Doom was 85. I'm excited.
I want to say Last Crusade was 89.
No, it was 89, definitely. Yeah. Because the first one was 80. I think it was 80, 84.
Was Last Crusade really that long ago?
Yeah.
I felt like it was the 90s.
No, it was 89. Okay, I remember summer of 89. So we saw it.
I remember watching the shit out of it in the fucking 90s when it hit HBO.
Right?
Yeah.
That summer, dude, I think I watched that fucking movie every time it came on HBO, dude. We're watching that, dude.
Sean Connery's last great film, so because everything after that was a bit rough.
Oh man, he did
Entrapment,
Finding Forrester.
Oh yeah, that's
dude, The Rock.
I was about to say.
That was before, wasn't it?
No, that was 95.
Oh, dude, The Rock is great.
Oh, it's not. Really not. He's all right, banged the prom queen or what?
The one he did with Matthew Broderick, where they were fucking doing the bank job. He was a criminal.
With Broderick?
Yeah, it was I think Dustin Hoffman
and Sean Connery.
Yeah,
I don't remember that movie.
That's not ringing a bell for me.
Sean, Matthew Broderick would have been Sean Connery's grandson.
Okay. Are you sure you're not thinking of
fucking positive
Apocalypse Now guy? Superman's
Brando?
dad? Yeah, because Brando did a movie.
They were doing. I think they were doing a job for him or something.
I do not remember that movie.
Oh man!
I just remember a never-ending series of bad Highlander movies. So
Bad.
The first one's great.
They're all fucking great, man.
The second one, dude, really? I was trying to explain.
They can't all be great. There can only be one.
There can only be one.
I was trying to explain because Chris has never seen Highlander. We were having this discussion this weekend.
Sorry, man.
So I'm trying to explain the concept of Highlander to him and the fact that Sean Connery plays a Spaniard in these movies. He's all, that's right, I'm a Spaniard.
It's totally believable.
He's all,
They put some spray tan on him.
Exactly. He's all,
totally that's chops right there.
He's all, I'm one Carlos something or another.
Oh no, and Medicine Man. It was a great fucking movie. I found the plague of the 20th century and I lost it. I loved it. That was another one. We were super high when we saw that. We're like, we're in the rainforest too.
Dude, The Rock, like when I watched it at the time, was great.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Have you watched it recently though?
It does not hold up.
It does not hold up. Like Ed Harris is still great in that movie, but it's like Nicolas Cage doing.
It doesn't hold up because that fucking urban camouflage is not realistic. Okay, that's why it doesn't hold up.
It wouldn't work.
Are you sure? Are you
Positive.
Sure? You're positive?
Well, I've never seen anybody wearing it, so it might work.
And then not only that,
except for like fucking hip hop stars and fucking
well, if you can
Carrie
see them,
King from
if you
Slayer,
can, if you can see them wearing it, it obviously is not working.
Right.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, it was not my like. It's good. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
But man. And then I watched Con Air, and Con Air ruined Nicolas Cage for me.
Dude, when he comes out of that fucking plane, man, in the fucking or the bus, and the wind hits his hair.
Freedom, man. He was feeling freedom.
Smell that.
Steve Buscemi, he owns that movie. He is the best part of that movie.
When Forrest Buddy gets shot, and you're like, no, Forrest, not dude, again.
The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
That movie's terrible.
That is the worst fucking movie on the planet.
He retired after that movie because he's like, I should stop.
Dragonheart.
He was a voiceover. He's not in the movie.
Yeah. You know what's funny is whenever there's a bad movie, I always if it's my pick and the wife gets mad because it's a shitty movie, I come back to League of Extraordinary
Family Business.
This is a movie that happened with Broderick.
This starred Sean Connery, Dustin Hoffman, and Matthew Broderick.
Oh, I can see how
I'll
they're
look
related.
into that. I'll look into that one.
Definitely look like three guys that could be related.
It was fucking funny, dude. I thought, it was
sure,
pretty cool, dude.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
it's no Scorsese film, but it's
Here you go, a first chance movie. Because nobody saw it the first fucking time.
Except for me, apparently.
For Steve.
I've never heard of this movie. And that's a hard pull for me to not have heard of a movie.
I'm a bit fucking surprised right now.
I've never heard of this movie. So what's it called again?
Family Business.
Is it good?
It's okay,
What's the rating on?
5.7.
Oh, that screams rewatch.
10. And it is Jesse and is an aging career criminal who has been in more jails, fights, and schemes and lineups than just about anyone else. His son Vito, who currently is on Vito, is played by Dustin Hoffman. While currently the straight and narrow has a fairly shady past and is indeed no stranger to illegal activity. They both have a great hope for Adam, Vito's son and Jesse's grandson, who is bright, good-looking, and without a criminal past. So when Adam approaches Jesse about a scheme for a burglary, he's shocked but not necessarily uninterested.
Dun, dun, dun.
That sounds really watchable.
It was funny, man.
I'm sure it was. He's all, show Dustin, come here.
Dustin
He's like,
Hoffman. Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin as a Vito.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking family is this? I mean, you got a fucking Scotsman and a couple of Jews
playing Italian mobsters.
Just doesn't make any
natural progression.
Sense,
Yeah.
This is definitely a pre-Sopranos world. That's all I'm saying.
Oh shit, man! That's a great fucking mix-up, dude.
Nothing about that seems good, so I'm gonna pass on that one.
I'll watch it.
I'm good.
It's like how he's just paint fucking white people like Native Americans and put a feather on their head. They could be the fucking.
Hey,
Indians.
Remember John Wayne played Genghis Khan at one point.
He's like, listen here, I'm an Asian.
I still think that fucking Nicolas Cage can be an excellent Fu Manchu. I think it's totally possible.
You think he would definitely make a good
I think that motherfucker will do any movie that is presented to him.
Well, they were pushing this weekend at C2E2.
Yes,
He did a big movie with Stephen
Hawking?
No, Stephen Hawking's like, hello, Nicholas. No, Stephen Yeun from Walking Dead. Okay. It's like some horror movie called Shudder, and it's Nick Cage with the beard and him. And they were like, are you guys interested in horror movies? And I'm all, nope. Not starring Nicolas Cage and the dude from Walking Dead, I'm not.
Steve stayed home, so we don't give a shit about that crap right now.
Nope, heading to my booth. Good luck, hot girl. Have fun.
Right.
So, yeah. So, anyways, back to where we were and the big turnaround. Stranger Things Season 3, just right around the corner, July 4th weekend. I'm very excited.
Is it really July 4th weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
I know what I'm doing for the holiday.
But it's set on July 4th.
I think that's the brilliance of it.
Right?
Right? Summertime. All right. Well, let's wrap it up right there. We hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. So once again, I am Captain Marvel's Mohawk.
Fuck, I feel like Chris, but I got nothing.
I'm Goose the Cat.
I'm the Seattle Crackheads.
And we hope you guys are having a Nerdlife Crisis. Music for the Nerdlife Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerdlife Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerdlife Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerdlife Crisis.